I'm live, but it didn't even let me do a title. That's horrible. I don't know. I've never went live straight from YouTube. I probably should have went live. Yeah. Okay. Wait, what's this do? Hello. Hello, my future girlfriend. Remember that guy? Hello, my future girlfriend. Can you see if you can even hear me? I don't even know how to put the chat out. At least 1 minute of videos needed to start a highlight. Oh, I see someone. WB. Smash that like. Late night live, laying in the bed with a avatar on. Missed you guys. So good to see you. Tomorrow I'll be going live, talking about The Valley, which I have not watched yet, and also Karen Reed, which I have watched. However, I did just see something, you guys, where, and I want you guys to sound off in the live chat. Smash that like. So good to see you. Hi, Petunia, Christina. So good to see you. Chel's in bed with me. Um, that was weird. Chel's in bed with me. You want to say hi, Chel? He says hey. Anywho, I did see something old news, right? But I'm in my luteal phase. Is it the luteal or the luteal? You're joking with me. Is it luteal or luteal? It's the phase of the cycle where you're extra sassy, right? Want to get to that follicle. I think it's the follicle. I always forget the name. Either way, I digress in an ADHD way. Sheena, how dare you? I can't. I just saw a clip and I've watched it a few times, and her wonderful her wonderful co-host Kiki's there, and she's saying, "Oh, um, oh my God, Kiki Monique, guess what? I saw Bad Bunny and he was checking me out." And I'm like, Sheena, you need to get a hold of yourself because no, he was not. I guarantee you, Bad Bunny was like, "Why is this lady looking at me? What's going on? Why is she walking toward me? Why are her eyes so big? Why is there a forward motion toward me at a very fast mom speed?" She has big, beautiful eyes. She's a beautiful woman. But how Sheena Shay can make everything about her, make everybody want her, make every tragedy about her, every victory about her that's not her victory, should be studied because it is crazy cuckoo bananas. Kelly, this is on purpose. Ask Jill if he knows. Oh yeah. Uh uh Chinga tu madre. Tucci. Do you know the Tucci? Christi- Tucci. Like Stanley Tucci. I don't know. Hi, Liz. Liz is in Ireland, so I don't know what time it is for you, Liz. Megan Sue says, if you were a juror, allegedly, would you stan Alessi or Brennan? Because Brennan Megan, Brennan today, I was telling my husband Chella how he was coming for our wonderful, beautiful doctor and how he is just such a freaking a-hole. And it explains so much that this man wasn't even really a prosecutor. He was a defense attorney and one for the mob. So of course he's coming in with that kind of energy. And when he has nothing to cross-examine the defense's witnesses on, he just attacks them on a personal level. He just attacks them to make them look as though there's something that isn't believable about them. And when he did that today and yesterday, it is infuriating. It gives me Jax Taylor vibes, and I hate it. Oh, Liz, it's 7 a.m. Oh, it's a brand new day. Uh, Christina says, "Tu chingada madre." He wants to know why you're being so mean to his mom, Christina. Boozy says, "Are we ever going to find out what happened to John?" Unfortunately, Boozy, I don't think we will. And that is the real tragedy in all of this. There will not be justice for John O'Keefe, because it appears as though that the defense, or not the defense, the prosecution and the Commonwealth and the police and that they just want to be involved in this crazy cover up. And it is so sad. Megan says, yes, he went after a grandma who's way smarter than him. Also, yeah, know your role, Brennan. That's a fantastic point, Megan Sue. Know your role. This woman is way smarter than you. She actually also, not only does she have like just intelligence and science and math and all the things and being a doctor, but she also has emotional intelligence, something you don't know about, sir. I'm glad she stood her ground too, but there was I forget what Brennan said, but she went, "Oh." Like, like even she was like, "Oh, that was unnecessary." Very unnecessary. We're having a little bit of a late night chat. I was just in bed and I was feeling sassy and I was scrolling Instagram and I've been putting out a lot of edited content because I'm having a lot of fun editing those videos. Um, the Karen Reed trial videos and things. Uh, but it also makes me miss the lives with you guys. And then I go, "Ah, before I go to bed, I'll go live." But I've just had so many things going on during the day that I haven't been able to go live, so many appointments and stuff, but soon we'll be back to normal. Yes, that's what it was, Amanda. Thank you. When he asked her about her memory, Joe, he asked this asshole prosecutor, Smarmy, is that the word? Smarmy, who looks like the mouse from American Tail, and that's an insult to him. Five O goes west, you know? And he asked her, like, if she had a good memory, insinuating that she could possibly have maybe like dementia or something because she's an older woman. Sal, did you hear me? What are you mowing a lawn in your video game? We have a lawn that's dead that we need to reseed that you can go out and play lawn simulator in our backyard. My husband is literally playing a game on his, what is it? I bought you it. It's a PS5 handheld. He's playing a lawn simulator. It's literally him with it. I gotta show them this, please. Okay. He says no. But he's on a riding lawnmower in this simulation game, just mowing a lawn when we literally have a lawn that we need to reseed. Okay, anyways, what is your company name? It is not. No one's gonna hire you if your lawn company's name is Jizz. So far, your progress is zero. No, 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 no. Okay. Naomi, I did not watch Next Gen NYC. I know Busy wanted to cover that for Sip and Key, but I don't know if we're gonna plan on doing that. We haven't talked about it. That was a while ago. Uh, Boozy Bitch says, I think John went in the house. Brain, I love it, Brain. He has no brain. Brian punched him and said, "Get the F out." John, with a cocktail in hand, fell on the curb, hit his head, passed out, and died. Wait, that's not funny. I mean, there's just so many. That's the thing. There's so much reasonable doubt in this, but you know, even questioning like the read on his Apple Watch saying he went down, possible flights of stairs. And then I think they tried to justify that with, oh, his watch was picking up that the road, Fairview has an incline or a decline, or it's like, what? Or one of the roads. Um, so, yes, Jizz lawn mowing, Casey. Megan Sue says, I just want to know if the jury picks up on how gross Brennan is because I hope so. I would hope so. There is a woman, I think it's Sue O'Connell. If you're on Twitter, if anyone's even on Twitter anymore, I keep my Twitter account just because when Big Brother starts and I'm just the biggest fan of Elon Musk, JK. And but there is a woman, Sue O'Connell from the Boston Globe, I think it is, Sue O'Donnell, and she does put reactions. And I saw that like when Turtle Boy's there, he'll put jury reactions. So there are a lot of people that you can check out to see. how they're reacting. I can't imagine the jury is loving this kind of prosecutor who used to just defend the mob and treats, a wonderful, educated older woman like garbage. I can't imagine people like that. So, Amanda, who, Buffy? Amanda K says, I also believe it was a fight gone wrong. I do too. Then they tried to cover it up and blame the girlfriend. I think probably the uh, possible scenario that makes the most sense is that Colin was involved. And obviously, we're not going to hear from Colin this retrial. We're not going to hear about Colin. They can't bring him up. Judge Bev took that completely out of rotation early on. But most likely, to kind of explain everybody's part in really covering things up. There is that whole, blue wall, all that I get. But I think the element of Colin still is probably at play. We know that, well, we know just from pictures of Colin and his own testimony that despite him claiming to be the Gandhi non-violent young man, he is in fact a fighter with bloody knuckles. Allegedly, he had some kind of beef with John O'Keefe, and previously, he even, I think Colin is Chris Albert's son, and Chris Alberts has his own history of hitting someone, and I think killing them with allegedly. But I just don't have my computer in front of me right now. But while drunk in a DUI when he was young, and the weird connection there is that allegedly his attorney that he used for his own drunken DUI, hit somebody, possibly caused them to be deceased, was Auntie Bev, the judge from this trial, her brother or some shit. So that's crazy. And we know that if you guys have ever seen, there was a Turtle Boy video where he was at the waterfall or the McCarthy place. I do watch some of the Turtle Boy content. I watch a lot of the people, especially the people that have been covering it forever and ever. Well, hold on, let me switch or finish this real quick. And so when he was out like a year ago, um, I believe that is when all the Alberts came out because it's right by Chris Albert's D&E sub shop, and they started, you know, like, oh, you want to fight? Because Turtle Boy is still in a legal situation there where they all want to claim that he is harassing witnesses or whatever they're claiming. Um, and they all were like down to throw down. If you look at the video from Turtle Boy's point of view and also videos that other people had taken, and then Colin showed up to pick up some food. So I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. What are you laughing at, Joe? Well, I've seen you mow our real lawn, Chell, so I believe in you. It's just maybe hard. A digital lawn is harder. Oh God, I watch Emily D. Baker, Carl Steinbeck, Turtle Boy, Melanie Little, Crime Junkie. I watch some Young Jerks or something they're called. They're old, so they're not even young, and that's no offense. They're like my age or older. I don't know if it's even the Young Jerks. I could just have made that name up. I'm just trying to, without my computer in front of me, for me to verify my own facts. I don't know. Who else who else do I watch? Why should you listen to what? Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, extremely interesting. Second of all, you need to learn about the corruption in the justice system. Third of all, it's all over the place. And fourth of all, and most importantly, your wife's interested in it. And everything your wife's interested in, you should make it interesting. And that, sir, is all you need to know. HZMT says, Jolene, are you following the day trial? I was. And then I fell off. because it's so much. Following Karen Reed and Diddy, and also with the Diddy situation, it's so I hate that, since it's federal, we can't, there's no cameras inside. So I feel like it's hard to follow. And I would need to be following it a lot closer. Not saying that I won't dig in maybe after the fact or halfway through. I don't even know how long that thing is supposed to last. But I think Diddy is disgusting. I have lots of opinions about it. And I do get a little bit of my Diddy news from Mims, make it make sense, my friend. But the people that are really covering Diddy, half of them are there, like covering him. So it's, and I do get disenchanted with a lot of the Cassie victim blaming, a lot of the why didn't, and I'm just like, ugh, I don't even want to deal with that right now. I'm all in on the toxic Bravo dudes and roasting them, and then there's the Karen Reed corruption. Hmm. Would your husband treat that arm? You mean John O'Keefe's arm? I don't even know if he's ever seen a picture of it. Welcome to ADHD wifey, right? And once I'm hyper focused, obviously we know as HD, ADHD ladies, we're all in. Like once I got all in on Karen Reed, I was all in. That was no joke. So Casey says Turtle Boy has some good stuff and respect. Megan says your husband is a nurse, right? I try to watch all your videos, but I wonder what he thinks of the arm. Yes, he is a nurse. And he hasn't seen the arm, but I should show him. But clearly I mean, you guys, I'm making another video, like putting some clips together and stuff of the Judson Welcher crime, accident recreation. And every time I rewatch that, I'm just like, how is this a thing? How did that got what is wrong with Aperture? What's in the water in Aperture? Is Aperture just like a long troll? Are they just trolling us? Because they can't be this dumb. Really? And make so much money, but I guess it is America. Um, but as I'm watching Judson recreate this accident and wear the same clothing as John O'Keefe, which is so creepy and unnecessary, get paint on his body, and then have a car drive into him at 2 miles an hour and think he proved something, it's mind-numbingly idiotic and ridiculous and proved nothing. And seems like it was a giant waste of money from the prosecution, which taxpayers' money. But it's crazy. I'll show him, Meg. He actually, I think, just fell asleep next to me, so I'll have to wrap it up soon because he has to work early tomorrow. Um, but maybe we can get Chell on a live when he's not working or falling asleep or mowing lawn in a video game to give his 2 cents. Oh my Amanda says the whole Commonwealth side gives reasonable doubt without even having to watch the defense bring their witnesses up, right? And I'm not even through all of the testimonies today yet. I kept going back and replaying Alessi versus Brennan for the mistrial. And of course, you knew Bev was going to rule in favor of the Commonwealth for that. But I was watching Melanie Little uh first thing before I watched a few other people. And she was like, yes, mistrial. Yes, get it, get it, get it. And I was like, hell yeah. But when the lawyers do that, it gives me hope that with prejudice. And I'm like, yes, with prejudice. And then Bev's like, I'm gonna need a half hour. I need a half an hour. Okay, I'm back. I just went outside and I smelled some secondhand smoke. And then I puffed up my bangs a little bit and got a Dunkin' Donuts. And obviously, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna grant that. And I'm like, ugh, ugh. Casey said it was Nickelodeon grease paint at 2.5 miles per hour, and they pointed. And the fact that he filmed it and brought it, was so cringe. It was horrible, horrible. Well, Hank bringing up DNA and just he is just what did Carl Steinbeck, his channel, I like him because of all the lawyers too. I like a wide variety, you know. You have some who are a little more like, yes, screw these guys. Some use colorful language, some don't. You know, but Carl, he's so even keeled. He's just like, oh, I just, I don't. I'm sorry, guys. I keep stopping the video, the testimony, but I just don't like what I'm seeing there. He's very calm, and I think sometimes since I am not the calmest person watching that, thank you, Liz, for the super chat. It's nice. It's funny because he is so calm. Uh, Bev is having a half day tomorrow. Bev's always on a half day, I feel like. She checks out pretty early. The Lexus SUV has taillights that can bite. Yeah, they have taillights that can make creations on your arms to make it look like dog attack, which is crazy. And Catherine wore not the clothes John was wearing when he unfortunately passed away, but wore replicas of his shoes, his jeans, his t-shirt, his sweatshirt, his hat. For what? Bro, you're creepy. It was horrible. You were too creepy and you were too sassy. So, hi, Miss T. Good to see you. So, yeah, I have been just fully immersed in the Karen Reed trial of it all and just perusing Instagram before I retire for the evening and go to sleep. And that's when I saw Sheena. It keeps popping up, her going, oh my God, guess what? Kiki. And Kiki's like, what? Bad Bunny was checking me out. He was checking your girl out. And I'm like, here we go. Here we go. And I do still have to react to and roast the Janet Caperna on Nick Vile. Then I saw Ariana is on our other favorite girl podcaster that we watch all the time. I can't remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about. And she also had Jesse on it, where Nick Vile had Michelle. So we have so much to roast and recap. And I haven't, like I said, watched The Valley yet. And I see that Jax, I think, on the after show, I saw a clip. I think Jax was saying that he has Brittany's engagement or wedding ring and it's in a safe, and he is going to use that for his son, put it in a trust for his son. It's like, sir, we can't trust you to put anything in a trust. You're not going to take care of your son. You don't even take care of your son now. Brittany told us. You're not even around. You don't even do anything to make time to learn about his autism diagnosis, to understand your son, to make his life better, to develop the tools to be the best parent you can be, to help your son develop the best. Like, ugh, Brittany should have taken that ring and she should have run with it and sold it because he's not even paying child support allegedly. I mean, it is like seriously, Boozy says, "Oh, the Jack's torture." It never ends. It's becoming where I can't enjoy the valley because this man is such a monster. So I'm gonna watch the newest episode, the after show, all the jazz, and then roast it up tomorrow afternoon. I had planned to do it tomorrow morning, but we got Teddy with a vet appointment at 9:45. The poor guy got a yeast infection in his ear. Who gets a yeast infection in their ear? I was like, what do we got to put some monostat in that shit? No, it was like an ear infection, I guess from like dirt and things, and they like to play at the park, and so poor guy. But he's on antibiotics, he's good, so it's for his checkup. And then Buffy has a grooming appointment at like noon. I actually canceled my hair appointment for Buffy's hair appointment. My dog. I was like, she deserves it. She needs it more. Mhm. Amanda says, I have a 17-year-old autistic son with ADHD and it's hard. Of course. And I mean, Jax is not Jax could never do what you do, Amanda. Jax could never be the wonderful parent I know you are with your son. He's too selfish and he's an asshole. But he will definitely put his son out there and, use him as like a shield for his own bad behavior to be like, well, I love my son so much. No, you don't. You've proven you don't. You kicked your son and the mother um, of your son out of your home so you could bang random chicks. And then you weren't paying the mortgage. And then when you decided you wanted to move next to Schwartz because you really are in love with him and being 29 all over again, you said, oh, you can move back in the house. So you left your son and Brittany in a home that was probably pretty soon to be foreclosed on. Gross. Hi, realification. Realification says the dog woke me up. It's great to catch alive. I have vaguely followed the Karen Reed trial IDK if she's guilty or not. I do think that all of the fuckery in this trial has failed John O'Keefe. I'll be here for a few. Yes, it definitely has. I think the more you watch and you look into it, you see that the fuckery, the investigation, the horrible investigation, the police, the corruption within that town has unfortunately made it so this poor man will never seek justice. And Karen Reed now is sitting there as a woman who is completely bankrupt, lost her job, has half of the, people thinking bad things about her, obviously public perception. And what the prosecution is claiming, they have no proof for that. Yet here we go with a second trial trying to prove the same thing they couldn't prove the first trial. And it is they carry the burden of proof. And it's almost like they just don't care. They're just hoping that they can have Jen McCabe call enough people to, I don't know. I don't know, to, convince the jury. We'll see. But it's good to see you, realification. I have had my husband chill, fell asleep. We kind of went live together. Kind of not. The poor guy fell asleep because he has a 12-hour day tomorrow. Um, oh, you saw my Buffy puppy reel, Casey? We love her. I gotta put up more dog stuff. Hmm. Yes, Megan Sue. Megan Sue says, I don't love watching all of them fighting and talking in front of their children. I don't either. Hi, Haru. Thank you. Haru is always the, I will say the unfortunate, I love her, but unfortunately she's the mod that gets stuck with these crazy last minute late night lives. Where when I'm just like, hey, I got something to say, like I'm Jerry Blank. Um, Catherine exactly says, I would love to know how Brennan thinks this trial is going. Well, men like him usually think they're doing pretty well even when they're failing. So I bet you he thinks he's doing pretty well. Krista said the Commonwealth is saying that Karen drove her car, yeah, 87 feet backward at a speed fast enough to break a taillight, but not break his arm or bruise him or anything like that. And how do you not back up 87 feet? And how do you back up 80? Yeah, 87 feet in a neighborhood. And then they're going to either, they want her for, you know, she did it on purpose, or I guess we'll take her for the manslaughter or whatever, involuntary. So you want us to believe involuntarily she drove her car 87 feet, what, at 24 mile or however they're saying, like gunned it back. Come on, it's just, it's tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Like, if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. They should have never brought this case up with whatever quote unquote evidence they thought they had. What they thought they had is an investigation where they could pin it on the girl, the outsider. No one would ask any questions. And yet now the whole world is asking questions because we're like, this shit doesn't make sense and it keeps getting worse. Hmm. Let's see. You have bad insomnia. I'm sorry, Haru. I can't nap or else I won't sleep. I understand insomnia, not being able to sleep. Um, have you tried anything? There's always they always say a warm bath, read a book, meditate. Of course, I barely do those things. Or take a melatonin, possibly. Catherine says, Jolene, do you think the defense is going to call Proctor? It seems like the defense doesn't want to call Proctor, but it seems like Brennan wants the defense to call Proctor, which is interesting. But we have his friend up there, Mr. Just for Men. You cannot tell me a man in his 40s like that has that jet black of hair and isn't spraying a little something something in it. Um, I don't know. I would, but I'm not a lawyer and I didn't go to law school. So obviously, Alan Jackson, Alessi, Yannetti, they all know better than I. I'd call his dumbass. I mean, seriously, having having him read those texts and what he said and what he thought and how many people he sent information, sensitive information about the investigation, clearly very early biased information about the investigation, how many different people he sent that to, and all the horrible things he said about Karen and Karen's lawyers, and how he wishes like she'd take her own life and stuff. I think it was so powerful to have him have to say those words. Like you wrote it, you thought it, and then have the jury have to think, now would you want an investigator like this investigating a crime that they thought you did when you didn't do it, or anyone? Do you think this is a moral and just investigation? Do you think this man is actually doing a good job? Well, clearly he's not because he was fired for it. So um, I would call him. Yeah, you can always have a gummy, like Liz is saying. Haru, his hot friend. I mean, his friend was way more attractive than him, but I find it hard to think of any man hot who would hang out with a guy like Proctor. Like, you're still his friend? Ew. Casey, yeah, there are, I do like to listen to like those sleep sounds on YouTube, and there's so many different ones, not just like ocean and, freaking camping and bugs or whatever they are. You know what I'm saying? Like outdoor stuff. But there's just like different tones and things. Very interesting. Bruce says, I tried melatonin, I got headaches and I felt sick. I might have made myself that way. Maybe you just took to like you might want to start low. So you can, I don't even know what melatonin goes up to. I think one time I took a 10 milligram and I felt like I was in a coma. Jippy Bippy says, in a way, not having Proctor come in lets the jury imagine him as the big bad monster. That is true. And not see him as human. Because there will be that case that'll be argued, which his own wife has done in the media, which Proctor only said these horrible things about Karen Reed because he believed that she killed a fellow cop. It's like, ma'am, okay, that you might believe that bullshit, and that might help you sleep at night, knowing that you are married to a man that speaks that way on women and treats women that way. But that ain't me, girl. If I ever heard my husband speak that way about a woman, yuck. I just, that's the man you picked, honey. Because, that is not okay with me. No, thank you. Jippity, I also think you sent me a message. I was trying to get caught up on my Instagram messages, but it went to, that others. Um, inbox, and even though I can't reply to everybody, I saw that you, I think, sent me a message about the uh, bombing or I think they ultimately ruled it a terrorist attack over in Palm Springs. So thank you so much for checking on us. And that was, now a couple weeks ago. So I apologize for my delayed response, but that thank you so much for thinking of us. Um, if Buffy's really coming back, and then I'm gonna need Xander and Angel and Willow and Spike. I think Willow will be back. Spike, I don't know, up in the air because he's a vampire. Vampires can't age, but they can do things with special effects. I will guarantee you Xander will not be back unless they create a new Xander. Nicholas Brendan has burned every bridge with that cast. Nobody wants him back. He's clearly not doing well due to mental health, substance abuse, and he does these Facebook lives from time to time, Boozy, and they're a mess. And that was the big thing of just getting them together for, I think it was like the Entertainment Weekly or whatever that was when it was like the 20th anniversary or 25th or whatever of Buffy a few years back, just to get them in an interview and a photo shoot. He had to come at a separate time. I think the only cast members that tolerate him still are Emma, um, who played uh, who played Anya, Emma Caulfield, and then maybe Charisma Carpenter because they see each other at like cons, but I think he's been kicked out allegedly at Comic Cons, inappropriate things maybe with fans. He's a mess. Unfortunately, it got to the point where I think he when Nicholas goes live, I've watched a few of his interesting lives. He doesn't even look like himself anymore. He doesn't sound like himself anymore. I think whatever substances that have he has, you know, addictions to have really taken a toll on him from his vocal cords to his face to his nose to everything. Um, but he has previously blamed David Boreanaz because I think David Boreanaz, who played Angel, was very vocal in that he would not be anywhere near him. And I think they started off pretty friendly on the show, but unfortunately, he never came back. So, you Nicholas Brendan was on an episode of Dr. Phil. Check it out. He's unfortunately a woman abuser, a little domestic violence, just not good. So uh, yeah, they will not want anything to do with him at all. And I know Sarah Michelle Gellar. Not that I know, like I know her, but I know that she most likely. I never see her even speak on him, so I don't think so. But you know what? That's a really good question. Catherine says, could they use Xander's actor brother? I mean, he does have a twin, and they have used him previously, but I don't know. That would be That'd be better. He says, "Yeah, Xander's too toxic now." The Dr. Phil interview was telling. And then since then, there were people that still like had his back and, were like, he's struggling with an addiction and the disease of addiction. But I think once he started then acting very inappropriately at Comic Cons, which is where he made his money for a long time, that's when a lot of people were like, okay, we're done. We're done with that now. Mm. So, but yeah, he does have that twin. Yeah, it seems like Emma Caulfield, she has a really big heart. The actress who played Xander, she seems like a sweetie. And they had such a bond, they probably tried to help him through the years, I'm sure. But I just saw a live with him. It popped up, like I never check Facebook, but I was on Facebook and I saw, oh my God, he has a Facebook. And it was like, I didn't even recognize him, first of all. I think he might live with his mom. He was fighting with people in the live stream. He didn't have a lot of people in the live stream. Everything was an excuse for why his life is the way it is. And I think I only clicked in because he was talking about Buffy and the reboot. So that's all I know about that. But all right, you guys, I am going to head to bed because I have to get up early to take care of the fur baby stuff, but I will be live tomorrow. I've missed you guys being live, but hopefully you're enjoying my edited videos. I really do love being able to flex a little bit of creativity and hopefully comedy. in those videos. They're just time consuming, but I do enjoy doing them. So I hope you guys enjoy them too. And thank you guys so much for the likes and the conversation in the comment section and the questions. I love chatting with you. These little like number one, number two, Liz is number one on the leaderboard. Get it, Liz. Oh, I forgot I can pin comments. I never go live directly to YouTube, so I was so confused. And I know a couple people messaged me like, "Are you okay?" I went live this week. I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's Wednesday tomorrow," or in mere minutes for me. Catherine, you are number two on the leaderboard. We have Liz, Kitty Cat Catherine, Christina getting at number three, Boozy number four, um, Mike Megan number five. Like, this is crazy. I feel like you guys should get prizes or something. Anyways, all right, now I just have to figure out how to end this live. Don't forget to smash a like, leave a comment, and I will see you guys for sure tomorrow for the Valley roast and recap of the newest episode. And also, we got to get a Karen Reed live going too. Okay, good night, everybody.